what the hell is going on with Tom Aspinall? The UFC heavyweight champion has gone dark. We haven't really heard much from him. We haven't heard much from the company, and there's been a lot of misinformation being spread around these past couple of weeks. Today, I'm going to go through all the information, try and find the truth, and try and come up with some answers. I've been sick as a dog for the past week, but we're back now to talk about Tom Aspinall because this is extremely important. This is the heavyweight champion of the UFC, and he's kind of being pushed aside, and we don't really have an explanation. So, of course, he had that brutal eye poke versus Ciryl Gane. That caused a lot of controversy. Some people believed he was faking it. Some people believed it was serious, and it turns out that it actually was serious. Tom's had multiple surgeries. He's had multiple visits to the doctors, and they're trying to figure out what's wrong with him because he still can't see properly. This is not a joke. This is not him faking it. He actually cannot see 100%. He has difficulty in the gym. He has difficulty on his everyday life. He says when he goes to the gym that he can hit a heavy bag. Sure, it's not with the same accuracy though. And when he has to go do pad work with his coaches, it's just not working either. So Tom is still off, and we still really don't know exactly what the problem is. I'm not an eye doctor. I'm not going to pretend like I know what the issue actually is. But what I do know is that it's still keeping him sidelined, and we don't have a timetable. Actually, as a matter of fact, Tom's not even really thinking of fighting, apparently, according to PT Carroll at uncrownedmma.com. He's saying that Tom is not really thinking about fighting right now. He's more so thinking about whether or not he's ever going to see properly again. This is much bigger than fighting at this point. It has nothing to do with whether or not we're going to see him anytime soon. It's extremely unfortunate for Tom because this dude has to be one of the most unlucky guys on the roster. Tore his ACL versus Curtis Blades when he had a massive opportunity. That made him sit out for over a year. Then he had the whole John Jones situation, which put him on the couch for another year. And now he's had this eye poke situation with Ciryl Gane, which is going to delay him once again. He's losing crucial years of his prime due to stupid shit and due to injuries, which also sucks. So I think people are being really harsh on him when they say that he's faking it or that he's just trying to prolong this. He's definitely not doing that. He's trying to get back in there, and he's trying to see if he's ever going to be able to see again. Like, this is absolutely crazy. And now, as of last week, some reports came out that apparently Tom and the UFC are having problems. They're not in mutual agreement right now. They're at a bit of a crash course. They're butting heads, and things are not going well. And apparently Tom has parted ways with the UFC. I think that's a load of bullshit. We haven't heard anything from either side, so I do not think that is true. But shit like this catches a lot of attention, and it kind of drives different narratives that you don't want to hear, and that the UFC probably doesn't want to hear either. Now, Tom's dad has talked for a while that Tom at some point is going to want to make the transition to boxing after he's done with MMA, and of course the UFC does not like to hear that. I mean, look what happened to Francis Ngannou. So maybe they have a little resentment towards that. Maybe they're trying to push Tom along and trying to, I don't know, maybe they're just a little annoyed with him. I don't know. Either way, I do think that there is a little bit of friction there, but I wouldn't say that it's near collapse. And although Dana has been pretty admissive with this whole situation and kind of brushing it off, I don't think he really hates Tom either. I think what's happening right now is Dana kind of seems a little annoyed with Tom because he's not able to fight, but it's completely out of Tom's hands. And I think that's what we're getting here, which I'm not saying is good. Listen, Dana White really needs to switch his tone with Tom Aspinall here. This is your heavyweight champion, a guy that's had to sit on the couch because of your doing with John Jones and that whole debacle. That is on you. I'm sorry. You're the promoter. You're the guy in charge. You put everything into place for that to happen. He sat on the couch. He didn't fight. He waited his turn. And now with what's happening right now, he has an eye poke that's actually hurting his vision and something that is actually super serious. And you're kind of brushing it off, saying he's kind of making a big deal out of it. I don't like that at all. He's been nothing but good to the UFC, and he deserves that same type of respect. For Dana to be coming out in all these interviews, kind of brushing it off, kind of saying anything that he says is going to be bad, and just not really taking any accountability is not good for him, and it's not good for the UFC. Because to be honest, I think Tom's at his boiling point, and honestly, can you blame him? Like, look at all the shit that's happened to him, and then he can't even get the backing from the promoter in Dana White in this whole situation. Like, he's definitely fed up. He's definitely a little annoyed, and he has every right to be. Dana's being super vague with everything. Of course, he's not giving us a lot of information, and he hasn't given us a timetable as to when Aspinall will return. And it's unfortunate because Tom's an awesome fighter. In my opinion, he's one of the most exciting dudes on the roster, and he has potential to be one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. It is still possible. I mean, look at his resume. Look what he's done. He's an absolute freak. If he can get healthy and his eye can get better and he's able to actually fight again, I think it would be awesome to see, because he definitely has the potential to be one of the best ever. So in the end, all we really know about Tom's situation is that he's hurt and that we don't have a timetable as to when he'll return, which sucks. I know, but that's the actual truth. I don't think there's any problems with the actual UFC right now. I think it's Dana just being a little annoyed, a little petty, and Tom just kind of being a little annoyed by that, to be honest. So I don't think we have to worry about Tom Aspinall's future in the UFC. I think if he does get healthy, which I hope he does, then we will see him return. But for now, we're not going to see that for a while. I don't know if we're going to see it before the White House, to be honest. I hope we do, because I mean, we're starving for fights before the White House. I'm going to make another video talking about that, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, we don't have a lot of fights booked before the White House. Hopefully this can be one of those fights. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed this one, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Also, let me know if you agree with me. Do you agree with Tom's side of the situation? Do you agree with Dana's side of the situation in the UFCs? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all for watching once again. I'll see you all in the next one.